When people hear me say the system is not built for you to win, I want to explain what I mean by that. I'm going to start with the public schooling system, and you're going to see a direct correlation to corporate America. So we're taught to go to school, get a job, get a 401k. But let's start back when we're elementary, right? You go to school, you have two 15-minute breaks and a 30-minute lunch, and then you bring homework home. You have to stand in line, raise your hand, ask to go to the restroom. Okay, and you're graded by a grade point average. That's how you're measured in success through memorization. Then you go into corporate America. It's designed exactly the same way. You get two 15-minute breaks, a 30-minute lunch. You got to ask your boss for time off or to leave work early. Okay? Also, we're taught to memorize. We're not taught to create. So people who are often CEOs or owners of businesses, for example, I have severe dyslexia. I struggled through school, but I have a very creative mind and I think outside the box. Well, I'm a CEO of multiple different companies. I've created companies because of the way that my brain works. I think outside the box, right? The key factor to understand is that we're taught to be workers, not taught to be creators. We're not taught to be problem solvers because think about it. If we were able to solve problems, if we were creating businesses, that would put the banking system out of business. We're taught to go to school, get a job, put our income in a bank, and they use it to create. They use it to expand. They use it to lend to create money. So when we start to reverse engineer this and we say, there's nothing wrong with trading time for money, but we want to take the money that we got, which is debt, from trading time and turn it into cash flow. Once we turn it into cash flow, we want to move those assets into either businesses or dividend stocks that pay us more income. Once we get that income, then we move in assets that actually beat inflation. So there's a lot of factors that we need to learn, and we have a big, big hill to climb in rewiring the subconscious mind that was indoctrinated in the public schooling system. So think about this. We should be rewiring our brain as adults so that we can rewire the next generation coming in. Unfortunately, I know the government wants to give us bailouts, but we don't need bailouts. We need financial literacy. And we need to understand how the system actually works, how the elites move their money, because money doesn't hit everybody the same in the system. It starts cheap at the top, gets to us very expensive. So we need to understand inflation, silent taxation. We need to understand how to turn our labor into income and transmute it into cash flow and assets that beat inflation. And once you start to understand those factors and you see how the system actually works, that's when you can escape the money matrix. Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.